for this week's report. The Select Board discusses financing options for the Sewer Siphons project. Memorial Day parade and ceremonies to be held this coming Monday. Parks and Rec has a new calendar for viewing facility and equipment availability. Bears have been spotted near Exeter homes earlier this month. And the Alewife Festival was held earlier this month to celebrate the return of the fish. For Exeter TV, I'm Bob Glowacki, and this is the Exeter Biweekly Report. Let's get started. The Select Board met back-to-back these past 2 weeks to keep momentum going before taking Monday the 29th off for Memorial Day. Will Tapley has this meeting minute recap, including important updates on the Swampscott River Sewer Siphons project.
This is your Exeter Select Board meeting minute for May 22nd. To start the meeting, several residents took to the podium during public comment to voice their opinions on the town's use of the 79E tax exemption.
Quite honestly, I think it should be sunsetted because I don't really think it's needed in Exeter because I think everything's alive and doing well down there.
I don't believe the spirit of the statute was actually met.
The first action item on the agenda was the financing plan for the Swampscott River Siphons project. The NH Department of Environmental Services informed the town that due to the increased funding toward the project, coming from town sewer reserve and ARPA funds, the town now qualifies for additional state revolving fund loan programs, or SRF loans, which offer low-cost financial assistance to support drinking water safety, water quality, and public health. Based on the SRF loans, the town has developed 4 financing plan options for the Select Board to consider. The additional SRF loan amount would need to be approved by voters at a special town meeting.
We are recommending an option that lessens the burden on the sewer reserves and uses fewer ARPA funds than originally asked for. And this would allow the town to utilize SRF funds at a very favorable interest rate and amortize the cost of the project over several years, which would assist in maintaining a more stable sewer rate.
We have $250,000 local ARPA and $650,000 in the sewer reserves. So if we opt to take that out of the equation, we would need $4,900,000 to borrow, right?
Right.
And we have up to 5.3.
That's correct.
Thank you.
The X factor in all this is getting that supermajority of the vote in the special town meeting. I just think the less we ask for, the better chance we have of success.
Much discussion was had regarding the various options, but the board voted to move forward with option 3, reducing the funds to be used from ARPA and sewer reserve funds by seeking an additional $4 million in SRF loans. Up next, Scott Ruffner from the town's Art and Culture Advisory Commission presented more information regarding the purchase of chairs for the town hall.
So we were able to raise at this time $3,810, and our goal was really to get halfway to the $7,198 figure, which we did.
The board voted to accept the donations and to expend up to $5,709 from the Town Hall Revolving Fund to go toward the purchase of the new chairs, with hopes that further fundraising will replenish the revolving fund in the future. To finish up the meeting, the board went through their committee updates. To hear what they had to say, you can watch the full video on our Exeter TV YouTube channel. Remember, the next Select Board meeting is slated for June 5th. See you there.
The town will hold its annual Memorial Day parade and ceremonies this coming Monday. Gabe Perez has more information on what is planned.
Exeter's Memorial Day traditions will continue on Monday, May 29th with a parade and several ceremonies. Beginning in Swayze Parkway at 10 a.m., a ceremony will be held to start off the parade, which follows Water Street towards the bandstand, and up Front Street to Gale Park, where the main ceremony will take place. This route has remained the same for decades, with old film reels showing this march as far back as the 1930s. Along the route, the parade lays wreaths at various locations. After the main ceremony, the parade continues to the Exeter Cemetery to close out Memorial Day services. The town invites Exeter area residents to join the parade and attend its ceremonies to help remember those that made the ultimate sacrifice.
Bears have been spotted near Exeter homes earlier this month. We spoke to New Hampshire Fish and Game to learn more about how we can live alongside these large animals. Bears were spotted in Exeter earlier this month moving through people's backyards. In one clip, a mother can be seen watching over her cubs as they climb trees in a backyard. In another clip, a bear cuts through another resident's grass right behind their house. With these recent bear sightings, we met up with Sergeant Hawks, a conservation officer with New Hampshire Fish and Game, to learn more about how residents can keep themselves and the bears safe in Exeter.
Bears, their one goal is to gain weight, gain fat before the winter. And if they can come to your bird feeders and eat all the protein that's coming off the bird seed, that's a lot quicker for them than it is to go try to forage for berries all summer long. So removing the food source. If you have no food in your yard, they will just pass through. But if they've gotten food in your yard, say like bird seed, trash that you had out, even your grills, after you cook, there's like greasing on them, stuff like that. So if that's still there and the bear gets a meal, it'll keep coming over and over again to your yard because it got a meal. It's got a quick, easy meal and it wants to keep coming.
He went on to explain that bears may revisit areas several times, even after food sources have been removed, until they get used to not finding food, and then they will simply pass through. If you're out enjoying Exeter's beautiful trails and conservation properties and encounter a bear, don't panic and remain calm. The bears are likely more scared of you than you are of them.
Most bears that I've encountered in New Hampshire actually don't want to be around humans. So if you're hiking and you see one, you make some noise, just act calm but make noise. I've always seen bears run off like that. The only time I've seen bears be a problem for people out of the blue is if they're being habituated to humans. If people keep feeding them on purpose, because there are people who feed them on purpose because they like to see the bears will act normal in their yard, but now that they're used to humans, they'll go to someone else's yard and not act normal.
If residents are concerned with bear activity in their yards and have already removed food sources, they can reach out to New Hampshire Fish and Game with their concerns. Parks and Recreation is always looking for ways to improve the user experience for programs and facilities. They recently upgraded to a new system which features a robust calendar. Gabe Perez and I learn about the new calendar in the next segment. Hey Gabe, if you're done with work, I was thinking about going kayaking. You want to come?
Yeah, man, sure.
Only problem is I don't know if any are available.
What, you don't know how to use the calendar?
No, could you show me how to use it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I gotta jump into the computer first, so. Hey Bob, let me show you how to use the new Parks and Rec facility calendar. First, you want to go up to exeternewhampshire.gov, right up there. From there, you go to the Parks and Rec page and find the Parks and Rec facilities page, right over here. And look for the About Town Facility Use, right down there. When you open it, you'll see the calendar displayed all out for you.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
That's right, Bob. This calendar will show you every facility or equipment that is currently rentable
or in use, laid out by the dates they're active.
So if I wanted to rent a kayak, I could see what days the kayaks are free for me to rent?
Exactly. And we can narrow it down too, right here.
Cool.
Woo! It's that easy, Bob. See? The page is empty. So now you know you're free to rent out that kayak without even worrying about overlapping on top of other people.
That's pretty useful.
It sure is, and that's just the equipment. You can also use it to see what facilities are available to rent and when they're already booked.
You really showed me a pretty useful tool for us to be able to navigate our town's parks and rec facilities and equipment much easier and more efficiently.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm just gonna bookmark this for future use.
Good idea.
And I'm gonna go rent a kayak since now I know when the available times are.
Sweet.
Sweet. Can you get out of there somehow?
I don't know how.
Oh, well, good luck with that. I'll see you later.
Wait, Bob, no, don't leave me. Bob, please. Bob, I need you. Bob.
The 2023 Alewife Festival went off without a hitch earlier this month, celebrating the return of river herring to Exeter. Here are some shots from the event. Be sure to stay tuned for our YouTube page for full event coverage coming soon. Before we go, a quick note that Team's Exeter Arts and Music Festival was rescheduled from last Saturday due to a thunderstorm. The new date for the kickoff festival is June 10th. You can find more information about the event on Team's social media or their website. That does it for this week's report. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to help us spread the word. We'll be back on June 9th for the next edition of the show. For Exeter TV, I'm Bob Glowacki, and this has been the Exeter Biweekly Report. Have a good weekend, Exeter. Alrighty, that's done for the day. Oh, I think Gabe's still in that computer.
Hello? Bob? Hello? Is anyone there? It's cold in here. I'm really hungry.